My dear one, let me share something very gently with you before we go any further. These 5 thoughts I'm about to teach you are not just positive thinking. They are not pretty sentences you memorize and then forget. They are 5 living seeds, 5 energetic frequencies, 5 doorways into a new life. And when you practice them with love, with presence, with the tiniest bit of willingness, they begin to rearrange the way you feel, the way you speak, the way you respond, the way you create. Healing does not happen by accident. Healing happens when one new thought finally feels safe enough to land in your heart. And that is what we are doing together today. We are giving your mind 5 new thoughts to hold, to soften with, to breathe with, to bloom within. You see, I have always said, and I will say it again now, the point of power is always in the present moment, not in the past where you were hurt, not in the future where you worry, but right here in this breath, in this moment where you are listening with your heart open just a little more than yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? You don't need to repair your entire life today. You don't need to become whole in one giant leap. You don't need to understand everything or fix everything or figure everything out. You only need to choose one new thought. One. And that single thought begins to build a new reality, just as one brick begins the foundation of a home. Healing begins in whispers, not explosions. Transformation begins with softness, not pressure. Your new life begins the moment you decide to invite in a thought that feels good. So let us walk into the first one together. I act as if I already have what I want. Oh, I adore this thought. It is gentle, yet it is powerful. It is simple, yet it is transformative. When you live as if something is already yours, your subconscious no longer fights you. It stops screaming, but I don't have it yet, I don't know how, I don't see it. Acting as if means you step into a state of having, not longing. And life responds to your state, not your begging. Life always mirrors your inner climate. So when you behave as though you are already supported, already loved, already safe, already guided, your body relaxes, your decisions expand, and your energy rises. You start moving differently, speaking differently, noticing differently. Suddenly you begin attracting differently because you are no longer coming from fear. You are coming from fullness. One new thought changes the way your heart moves through the world. That is the magic of the subconscious. It obeys the feeling of now, not the panic of not yet, not. And then we move into the second thought, one that has carried so many souls through dark nights and difficult mornings. My life gets better all the time. Say it slowly. Feel it. Let it melt the tension in your shoulders. Let it open something soft inside you. This thought is not fantasy. It is direction. It is leadership. When you tell your mind that things are improving, your nervous system stops preparing for battle. Your heart stops bracing for disappointment. Hope begins to breathe again. And don't we all need hope? Quiet hope, steady hope, the kind of hope that lets your chest open and your jaw loosen. Yes, my dear, your life gets better all the time when you are willing to believe that something better is possible. And the moment you believe that, even a little, you begin guiding your day instead of your day guiding you. Remember, tiny shifts create enormous changes. A degree to the left today leads you to a whole new destination 6 months from now. Now let's walk into the third thought. And this one I want you to hold close, very close. Love flows through my body, healing all dis-ease, not disease, dis-ease. Any place where there is tension, there is dis-ease. Any place where you have been afraid, tight, defended, angry, ashamed, there is dis-ease, and your body feels all of it. Your body listens to every sentence you whisper inside yourself. Your body is not your enemy. It is not broken. It is not betraying you. Your body is your most loyal companion, doing everything possible to keep you alive, to keep you grounded, to keep you standing, even on the days you speak to it harshly. When you say, "Love flows through my body," you are reminding every cell that it is safe to soften, safe to heal, safe to release what hurts. Love is not an emotion. Love is an energy, a frequency, a medicine that dissolves resistance and melts fear. When you let love flow through your body, you are inviting harmony back into your physical temple. And your body always responds to love, always. And then we step into the fourth thought, one that has changed thousands of lives. I deserve all that is good. My dear one, please breathe here. So many people struggle with this thought, not because it is complicated, but because they were taught the opposite since childhood. They were taught to shrink, to apologize for existing, to feel guilty for wanting more, to settle for less than their heart's truth. But listen to me gently. Deserving is not arrogance. Deserving is alignment. When you believe you deserve the good that life offers, you stop sabotaging, you stop chasing, you stop punishing yourself, you stop clinging to the wrong people, you stop accepting crumbs while calling them meals. You begin honoring yourself. You begin expecting respect. You begin choosing environments that nourish you. You begin saying no to what drains you, and you begin receiving. Life does not withhold from you. You withhold from life when you believe you do not deserve more. Let this thought rise inside you like sunlight warming cold soil. Let it return you to the truth. You came here deserving. You were born deserving. And nothing that has happened has ever changed that. And now, the fifth thought, the one that makes your soul smile the moment you say it. Good things are always finding me. What a wonderful thought to wake up with. What a lovely thought to carry into your day. This thought teaches your energy to expect blessings, not disasters. It teaches your mind to look for solutions, not problems. It teaches your heart to notice the love that has always been around you, the kindness of strangers, the support of friends, the synchronicities that guide you, the opportunities that appear just at the right time. When you believe that good things are always finding you, you become a magnet for joy. You begin to see life not as a battlefield, but as a generous companion. And doesn't that feel better? Doesn't your breath become easier? Doesn't your spirit feel lighter? That is the power of one new thought, or 5. My dear, I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You do not need loud change. You do not need dramatic change. You do not need overnight change. You only need consistent, gentle, loving change, one thought at a time. Healing is not about force. Healing is about permission. Healing is about letting the light in where you once built walls. Healing is about choosing again, choosing differently, choosing kindly. And today, right now, you have chosen to bring 5 new thoughts into your field. That is no small thing. That is the beginning of a new inner world. And when your inner world changes, your outer world must follow. So carry these with you. Let them rest in your chest, in your breath, in your morning routines, in your quiet moments. Whisper them when you wake. Repeat them when you feel lost. Breathe them into your body when you feel afraid. You are not powerless. You never were. Your thoughts are your paintbrush. Your mind is your canvas. Your life is your artwork. And you, my dear, are the artist. Life loves you. I love you. And good things are already on their way to you. You know, my dear, those 5 thoughts we explored earlier are not just ideas floating in the air. They are openings, little gateways into a completely different way of living. And once your mind even touches them, once your heart even considers, maybe life really can shift for me. Something begins to soften, something begins to melt, something begins to awaken. And that brings us right into something I want to share with you. A truth so simple and so transformative that when you truly understand it, your life won't be the same. Your mind does not change by accident. It changes by design. When you know how to reprogram your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to follow. Think of your mind as a garden. You cannot simply hope the weeds disappear. You do not stand in the doorway wishing that flowers will magically bloom. You prepare the soil. You choose the seeds. You water them again and again, even before you see anything sprouting. And that is exactly how the mind works. You don't change by wishing. You change by practicing. You change by choosing what to plant. You change by choosing what to nourish. The formula is beautifully simple. Belief plus emotion plus decision plus persistence, real change. Belief is the soil. It holds everything. Without belief, without the willingness to consider that something better is possible, nothing can grow. Emotion is the water. It is the energy that wakes up the seed. You cannot plant new thoughts and then feed them with old fear. You must water them with feeling. You must let your heart participate. Decision is the sunlight. It is direction. It is clarity. It is you saying, this is the path I'm choosing now. When you decide, truly decide, life begins to reorganize itself around that choice. And persistence is the air. It is the breath. It is the quiet commitment that says, even if I don't see results today, I will keep going. Many people want healing as long as it is convenient, but healing is not convenience. It is commitment. And commitment does not mean tension. Commitment means consistency. It means you show up for your mind the way you would show up for a beloved child. You repeat the new thoughts even when the old ones feel louder, because you know repetition is how the brain learns. Nothing changes unless you show up for the new story again and again. My dear, please hear this. Your mind is not your enemy. Your mind is a student, waiting for instruction. And when you pair belief with emotion, emotion with decision, and decision with persistence, your mind will always learn the new way. Now let's talk about something that so many people misunderstand, yet it is one of the most powerful teachings I've shared in my work, acting as if. When I say act as if, people sometimes imagine I mean pretending, faking confidence, putting on a mask, but that is not what I mean at all. I am not inviting you to perform. I am inviting you to remember. Remember who you are underneath fear. Remember who you are beneath old stories. Remember who you are before the world told you to shrink. Acting as if is not fabrication. It is reconnection. When you act as if you are worthy, you're not lying. You are waking up the part of you that has always been worthy. When you act as if you already have what you desire, you are not deceiving yourself. You are aligning yourself with the version of you who is ready to receive it. Acting as if is a shift in identity, and identity is the steering wheel of your life. You cannot become a new person while carrying around the posture of your past. If you want to change your life, you must change the I you are living from. If you want love, live as someone who is lovable, not someone begging to be chosen. If you want abundance, live as someone who expects good, not someone waiting for loss. If you want healing, live as someone who honors their body, not someone rehearsing illness in their mind. This is why I always say the world responds to what you are, not what you want. Wanting comes from lack. Being comes from truth. And the moment you start inhabiting the truth of who you wish to become, life begins to meet you there. You don't have to fake confidence, just soften into it. You don't have to fake worth, just remember it. You don't have to fake strength, just lean into it. Acting as if is choosing the vibration before the evidence appears. It is choosing the energy before the manifestation arrives. It is choosing the identity before the world reflects it. And that, my dear, is the fastest way to call a new reality into being. Now let's go even deeper. Because after working with thousands of people, I discovered something incredibly important. The story you repeat inside your mind is the most powerful force shaping your life. Your brain is always listening. Your nervous system is always responding. Your energy is always broadcasting. And what story do they follow? The one you tell most often. If you say, "Nothing ever works out for me," your brain makes decisions that match that story. If you say, "I'm always alone," your energy repels connection. If you say, "I'm not good enough," you will sabotage every good thing that tries to enter your life. Not because you are wrong, not because you are broken, but because the mind follows familiarity over potential. Your inner story becomes your inner home, and your inner home becomes your outer world. That is why rewriting your story is not optional, it is essential. And rewriting your story is not pretending everything is perfect. It is giving your mind a new truth to follow. It is giving your heart a new direction to open into. It is giving your energy a new place to rise. When you gently begin repeating phrases such as, "Life supports me," you are teaching your nervous system that you are no longer living in danger. When you say, "I am capable," you are giving your brain permission to consider new possibilities. When you affirm, "Everything is working out for me," you shift from survival mode into creation mode. You stop bracing for impact and start expecting alignment. You stop clinging to fear and start welcoming guidance. You stop repeating the past and start inviting the future. Please understand, my love. Your old story is not your fault. It was handed to you by people who also carried old stories. But now you get to choose differently. Now you get to narrate your life from love, not fear. Now you get to tell a story that supports your healing instead of delaying it. You get to say, "I am learning, I am growing, I am becoming." You get to say, "I am open to good." You get to say, "My future is bright." You get to say, "Life loves me." And the more you repeat these loving truths, the more your mind begins to build a new identity, one that matches your potential, not your pain. And slowly, without pressure, your outer world begins to change, not because you forced it, not because you earned it, but because you finally became someone who believes you deserve it. You know, sweetheart, one of the greatest lessons I ever learned, and the one I try to remind everyone who sits in front of me, is this. You cannot receive a life that does not match the energy you live in. It's simply impossible. You cannot plant seeds of fear and expect a harvest of peace. You cannot water yourself with self-criticism and expect to bloom into confidence. You cannot hold tight to thoughts of lack and expect abundance to run towards you. Life is honest. Life is precise. Life mirrors you. And the universe will always meet you at the frequency you choose, whether it is loving or fearful, expansive or contracted, open or closed. So when you say, "I want peace," but your inner voice is filled with worry, there is no alignment. When you say, "I want love," but you keep repeating stories of rejection, there is no alignment. When you say, "I want prosperity," but your mind whispers, "I never have enough," there is no alignment. And my dear, the law of inner alignment is so gentle, so simple. Before you can have the life you want, you must think in the language of the life you want. Not someday, not when things improve. Now, in this breath, in this moment. Because your thoughts are not just thoughts. They are energetic invitations. They say to life, "This is where I stand. This is what I am ready for." And life, in its infinite generosity, responds, "Very well, my love, I will match you." So if you want peace, begin by choosing peaceful thoughts. If you want love, begin by speaking to yourself lovingly. If you want abundance, begin by believing that you are worthy of more. Healing begins inside long before it arrives outside. The alignment always comes before the manifestation, and the moment you shift your inner world, even a little, even softly, you start to notice the outer world shifting with you. Not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. Your energy becomes clearer. Your steps become lighter. Your choices become wiser. And the universe says, "Ah, now I can reach you." That is the law of inner alignment. You attract what reflects your inner state, not your wishes. So choose your inner state with love. Choose it with awareness. Choose it with intention. Because every time you choose a loving thought, you are choosing a loving life. Let me tell you something from my own journey. Something I learned not from theory, but from survival. There was a time when my life was not calm or peaceful or abundant. I was scared. I was hurting. I was unsure. And the only thing that carried me forward was not talent, not luck, not some giant leap of faith. It was consistency, showing up for myself day after day, even when I didn't believe fully, even when I felt tired, even when the old thoughts were loud and convincing. Healing didn't happen because I said one loving affirmation. Healing happened because I said it again and again and again until my mind learned a new rhythm. Consistency is not repetition for the sake of repetition. It is devotion to the life you want to create. Think of a gardener. A gardener does not water seeds once and walk away discouraged. A gardener waters daily, gently, patiently, knowing that the roots are forming long before the leaves appear. You are no different, my dear. Your mind needs gentle watering. Your heart needs steady reminders. Your inner child needs consistent kindness. And little by little, and sometimes so slowly you don't notice, the soil inside begins to loosen. The old beliefs begin to soften. The new thoughts begin to take root. One loving thought per day becomes 5. 5 becomes 10. 10 becomes a new way of living. And soon you realize you are not the person you used to be. Not because something dramatic happened, but because you chose yourself over and over again. That is the power of consistency. It creates miracles quietly. It shifts your identity softly. It teaches your body safety. It teaches your mind possibility. It teaches your heart trust. Many people ask me, "Louise, how do I change my life?" And I always say, by practicing the new thought one more time than the old one. You don't need perfection. You don't need force. You don't need pressure. You just need to show up for yourself every day with one small, loving action. Whisper an affirmation. Breathe consciously. Cancel a negative thought. Choose a kinder story. A consistent drop of love will reshape even the hardest stone. And you, my dear, are far more flexible than stone. Your life will change, not because you hope it will, but because you consistently choose thoughts that create change. Sweetheart, let me share something very personal. For many years, the voice inside my mind was not kind to me. It repeated the judgments I had heard growing up. It replayed the fears I carried in my body. It criticized every choice, every mistake, every desire. And I believed it because I didn't know any better. I thought that inner voice was me. But one day I realized something that changed everything. The voice inside your head is not your essence. It is your programming. And programming can be rewritten. When I understood that, I began speaking to myself the way I would speak to a beloved child, gently, patiently, lovingly. When the old voice said, "You're not good enough," I answered, "I am deeply worthy." When it whispered, "You can't do this," I said, "I am learning how." When it tried to frighten me with, "You're alone," I reminded myself, life supports me in all ways. And slowly, the old voice grew quieter, softer, less believable, and the new voice, the loving one, became stronger. My dear, your self-talk is the most powerful therapy you will ever practice. It can destroy you or rebuild you. It can exhaust you or restore you. It can limit you or liberate you. And the beautiful thing is, you get to choose which voice leads your life. If your inner voice has been harsh, it's not your fault. It was learned. But now that you are aware, you can unlearn it. Replace criticism with compassion. Replace fear with reassurance. Replace doubt with encouragement. Replace "I can't" with "I am willing." Each time you correct the voice within, you strengthen the foundation of your healing. Self-talk is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about reminding yourself that you are safe, capable, loved, and deserving even when life feels messy. And the more loving your inner dialogue becomes, the more loving your outer life becomes. Because life reflects the way you speak to yourself. So speak softly, speak kindly, speak lovingly. Your mind is listening to every word, and it believes you. Teach it words that heal. Teach it words that open doors. Teach it words that make you proud to be yourself. Because the healing you've been seeking begins with the sentences you whisper to your own heart. You know, my dear, before we go any further, I want you to place your hand over your heart for just a moment, because what I'm about to share is something I've lived, something I've breathed, something that carried me through the darkest corners of my life. When we live from fear, everything tightens. Our breath, our thoughts, our choices, our bodies. Fear contracts. Fear shuts the door. Fear whispers the worst-case scenario and convinces you it is the only truth. But love, oh, love does something entirely different. Love softens. Love opens. Love slides into the places where fear used to hide and says, "You don't have to fight anymore." And when you choose love, when you choose compassion, when you choose gentleness, when you choose to treat yourself like someone worth caring for, your entire life rearranges itself around that new vibration. Suddenly you react less. Suddenly the noise of the world doesn't shake you the way it used to. Suddenly you find yourself exhaling instead of gripping. This is what living from love does. It clears your inner sky so blessings can finally land. And remember, darling, blessings do not fly into stormy weather. They come to calm hearts. They come to open hands. They come to the ones who say, I am willing to live gently now. When you choose love, life begins to move toward you instead of away from you. Life mirrors what you give. Life responds to what you embody. Life grows where you soften. And before we close this time together, I want to leave you with a final healing reminder, one I spent decades whispering on stages, in counseling rooms, in books, in quiet conversations with people just like you. You have the power to heal your life. That power has never left you. It may have been quiet for a while, but it has always been there. Every thought you choose is a brush stroke painting your tomorrow. Every belief you adopt becomes a seed planted in the garden of your future. And every moment, every single moment, you are free to choose a new thought. One new thought repeated with love can reroute an entire lifetime. So choose thoughts that lift you. Choose thoughts that soothe you. Choose the thoughts we spoke about earlier. I act as if I already have what I want. My life gets better all the time. Love flows through my body, healing all disease. I deserve all that is good. Good things are always finding me. These are not just sentences. They are invitations. They open portals. They shift your inner climate. They tell the universe, I am ready for something better. And now, my dear, let me guide you gently into a small practice to close this session. A practice you can use every single day to anchor healing into your life. Sit comfortably, place your hand on your chest, and breathe in deeply. On your exhale, whisper softly, I choose love today. Breathe in again, slower this time, and say, I choose thoughts that heal me. And one more time, breathe in, hold the breath just for a moment, and as you release it, say, I am creating my future now. Feel the truth of those words settling into your body. Feel how your energy shifts, even slightly. That shift is healing. That shift is alignment. That shift is your whole life beginning to turn in a new direction. And if you'd like one more step, here it is. For the next 24 hours, whenever fear arrives, whenever doubt taps your shoulder, simply pause and ask gently, what would love choose here? This one question can change everything. You are healing. You are powerful. You are becoming new. And your life, dear one, is already rising to meet the version of you who dares to think differently. All is well, and it gets better from here.